SPACECAT is an easy acronym to help you remember one of the most important or useful ways to annotate your text. It reads speaker, purpose, audience, context, exigence, choices, appeals, and tone. Speaker is the author or the writer of the speech or who you're listening to. Purpose is why the writer is writing what they are writing. Audience is who's listening, who they're writing to. Context is what's going on around them. It doesn't always have to be why they're writing. For example, if a student was writing an essay for their teacher at the time of the Civil Rights Movement, the Civil Rights Movement isn't within the text, so it's not necessarily a reason for writing. It's just what's going on around them while they're writing. Exigence is the event that took place that forced them or pushed them to write. Every single person and every single text had a reason to write or to be written. Whether it's you're bored and you decide to write or your teacher's making you, there's always an event that takes place to make you write. Choices is what the author or speaker used to touch the reader, or what they did to make you informed or feel a certain way. Appeals, they can appeal to three different things. Pathos is emotion. So if you're reading something and you feel angry or you feel sad or you feel confused, it's appealing to your pathos. Logos is logic. So if you are reading something and there's a lot of statistics and there's a lot of facts, they're appealing to logos. They're making you feel informed. Ethos is credibility. So if within the text they mention that they're from Harvard or they have these credentials, then they're appealing to ethos. They're appealing to their credibility. They're making themselves credible so that when you read it, you believe them. The first three parts or four parts of SPACECAT can be really, really important when you're writing your thesis. So the SPAC in SPACECAT, speaker, purpose, audience, and context, and sometimes exigence, is very important when writing your thesis, because when somebody is reading your thesis, they want to know what you are talking about and what text you're talking about. They want to know who's writing the speech or text that you're going to be writing about, why they wrote it, who their target audience was, or who was listening. I find audience especially important in a thesis because depending on who your target audience is, you're gonna write something differently. So if you're writing to your family members or your grandma, you might be more respectful with your tone, or you might use proper language or good grammar. But if you're writing to a group of people who are enraged and you want to make change, you might appeal to their anger or draw out more of their emotion and use different kinds of languages or be more powerful when you speak. And that also goes into tone, which is the last part of SPACECAT, the T in cat. That is the environment, if you want to think about it that way, of the text. So tone is if throughout the entire thing you feel sad, then the tone is sad. If throughout the entire thing you feel empowered, then that's the tone too. If you go back and forth and you feel sad and angry, then the tone is emotional. Or if you feel nothing at all and you're just learning, then the tone is informative. And that can also be really important in your thesis too. Maybe not to blatantly say it, but to keep it in mind while you write so that you can keep it in line with the text you were reading. The first part of SPACECAT you will write out in your essay at some point, usually. I find it to be the best way to write a thesis is to put that there. But just because you don't write out the rest of it, maybe with the exception of appeals, it's still very important to keep it in mind while you write because it can keep you in line with what you want to write and help you get a better grade.